But what has the response been from non-Albanian people about the food that you're cooking? Are they curious about Albanian cuisine? Is it well received? Has it inspired them to cook? You know, because this is the message as well. It's sharing a part of Albanian culture.
Yeah, the Albanians that have commented about the tav, like I said, they've commented on the nitty-gritty bits and how they would change it and X, Y, Z. And to be honest, a lot of them also said you should have picked a different dish, and you shouldn't, or some have even said you shouldn't have done an Albanian dish at all because they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand the flavor profiles. But the English community's response to it has been like so opposite and so overwhelming. Like they've said, oh, it was nice to see something different. Mm-hmm. Like that looks interesting. I'd want to try that. Like a lot of the English comments have been so positive. Mm-hmm. And they've said as well that you're really brave for representing your culture and showing something completely different on the show. It's really been only positive from the English community in regards to the food that I actually made. Mm-hmm. Which is funny because I guess yeah, exactly. And it's the whole tav kosi thing was such a big talking point in my family, because we had to submit the food that we wanted to cook, I think about 2 weeks or so before we actually came into the studio to cook. Mm-hmm. So they needed to make sure that they had the ingredients, the materials that we needed, everything needed to be submitted beforehand. And I told my family, I'm going to take, like in the first round, I did a bean dish. Mm-hmm. And that's what got me through kind of like first to get an apron. And it was an amazing moment. But then I didn't have to cook the second round because I already got through. And then the third round was the round where we had to do 8 plates of food, 4 mains and 4 desserts, or 4 starters and 4 mains. That was the option. Mm-hmm. And it was the only time in MasterChef that I knew of that they give you complete freedom over what you cook. Okay. Whereas like the first round was like a specific brief, and it had to be a specific kind of like to hit a brief. And this time was going to be the only time that they weren't going to give a specific brief. It was just the amount of plates of food you had to cook. Mm-hmm. And I said to my family, I'm going to take this opportunity to make some Albanian food because I don't know if I'll get a brief that will allow that in the future rounds that I might do. And everyone was like, don't do it. They're not going to understand it. Like, just cook something that you know is really well received by the English, like... well,
like every other contestant. Or, you know,
yeah, they were like, think of the competition. You want to get as far as you can. Just do something that you've cooked 100 times, that you know how to make. Don't try and do something different now because it's too risky. Like, what if they don't understand the flavor? They're not going to... like. And I said to them, I was like, guys, you are my family.
You're Albanian. Be proud.
Yeah. I was like, I thought you would be the most proud that I would do an Albanian dish, but they just wanted me to go further for like their own like personal. They wanted me to see me succeed, and they were just worried that it was a risky move.
Are you planning?
And I got what they were saying.
Are you planning to stick with an Albanian theme if possible?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's weird because my background is so kind of like mixed in regards to the food that I like, but it always comes back to Albanian food. It always, when you come home and you just want something comforting, it's always coming back to Albanian food. And a lot of the TikTok videos that I make, that I show different recipes, or it's always the ones with the Albanian recipes that get me the most views and the most comments and the most traction online. And I feel like I will do other things, of course, because I just enjoy food as a overall kind of like thing. But I will always bring it back down to Albanian food, because that's, I think, what differentiates me and my page and other food creators that might be out there, because there's such a saturated market.
I'd love to see like pace on BBC, you know, like a lamb's head in a big pot or something, you know. Yeah. Maybe a bit extreme, but burek on BBC, you know, this is a headline.
Exactly. I just want, like, we have a lot of people, including Albanians, will say that we don't have much of a authentic cuisine because it's influenced by the Ottoman Empire, it's influenced by the Greeks, it's influenced by these people. I think that's a bit of a silly thing to say because I don't think there's any country in the world that hasn't had influence from their neighbors in regards to the
Exactly.
type of food they make. Like I was in Sicily recently and they were telling me that sugar didn't exist in Sicily until I think the Arabs brought it over, and that's how they make their granita, which is like their local prideful dish. And I'm like, you see, there's
Yeah.
always something that you can go back in history and find it actually originated from. But no one says granita is an Arab dish. They say it's an Italian dish, it's a
Yes.
Sicilian dish.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same with Albanian cuisine. Like you can say that a lot of our dishes are influenced by Turkish or Greek culture, and I don't dispute that. But we still make it in our own way and with
Exactly.
our own flair and with our own kind of like style. And I think that should be showcased more rather than just being so quick to dismiss the fact that we even have a cuisine. So yeah, I think that's really important.